Hi everybody, I am SS the Showstopper and I'm over on the Devil Advocate channel. Today is the 12th of October in the year of our Lord 2022. Now I'm going to touch on a topic that's very interesting. It's a topic that I like and stuff like that. I'm going to hop in and out, which may seem like I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm always going to revert back to the point. So follow me as I go along. I notice people saying things about my clothes and how I dress and stuff like that. Listen, I'm in the comfort of my home. And so I like to feel comfortable, I like to feel relaxed, and I like when my information or the message that I'm conveying flow. And I also want to give my audience the same atmosphere so they can feel relaxed, whether they're at home, whether they are at work, or even if they're hanging out somewhere. If they're watching my video, they have it's the same ambiance to them. So it's a psychology thing, okay? So I'm going to touch on this topic a little bit. You know, once I was at a function, and somewhat of an elite function, all these suit and tie people crossing their T's, dotting their I's, and stuff like that. And while at the function, I was there with an attorney, and he said to me, remember this, in life, nothing is ever what it seems. Nothing is ever what it seems. It doesn't matter how glitz and glamour and how beautiful and gorgeous and glamorous it looks. Nothing is ever what it seems. I say that to say this. We see the Broadcasting Commission has clamped down on violent music that are promoting violence, guns, illegal activities, all these clandestine activities and drugs and, all of these things. The Broadcasting Commission has clamped down on it. And I'm not surprised because they have done it before. It's like an extension. So at different stops, they'll clamp down on something. So now they go full force, full throttle, and they have clamped down on all the things that are being promoted in society that are deemed illegal, immoral. They have decided to clamp down on it, even when it's edited. Now, Cardell Green, the head of the Broadcasting Commission, is a very intelligent man. He's a former student of the Herbert Morrison Technical High School, situated on Alice Eldemeyer Drive in Montego Bay. So he's a well-to-do person. He understands psychology. I think he understands sociology also. He's very intelligent. Okay, but I say that to say this. Before anything happens, or before there is a full forceful move or a shift, there is usually a meeting, there is usually an understanding that take place among many. Okay, it's the similar with the Bernard Lodge, where PBC, the government came in and was demolishing houses and structures that were being built and stuff like that. A meeting took place before. So this clampdown on the music out there, a meeting took place before. Remember, just to put this out there, remember I said that my channel is not necessarily about gossip. It's an eye-opener. So don't sit around waiting for me to cuss and attack, and no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just giving you information as to what a lot of people may not be aware of or may not be privy to. A meeting take place, all right? And during the meeting, they decide that they'll come to an understanding or an agreement. Okay. Now, the clamping down of the music, it's not so much that it is immoral. It's not so much that it is illegal. Illegalities that they are promoting. What's really happening is that there isn't much being believe it or not, there isn't much that is being generated from entertainment where the government is benefiting. Watch this. If you notice, the pornography industry, for example, people over the decades since its establishment or inception, people have said, okay, it's immoral, it's this, it's that, you should clamp down on it, the United States should clamp down on it, but it's a billion-dollar industry. So clearly the government, which is in a capitalist country, the United States, is not going to clamp down on pornography simply because you have an issue with it. They are not going to, it matters not who is speaking out, who is watching it. I don't care about the nuances of that. All I'm saying is that the government is not going to clamp down on pornography because it's $1 billion industry. How they know it's $1 billion industry? It's simply based on the amount that they collect in tax. So it's stipulated, rules and laws and a lot of things are governed and stipulated based on what the government can make, stand to make, or is making. Now, in business, there's something called the opportunity cost. Remember, I said that I was going to jump around, but I'll revert back to my point. In business, there's something called the opportunity cost. And in the opportunity cost, it's where, for example, you borrow from a resource. You'll borrow resources from one sector to finance the other sector. Or you will finance one sector and all other sector collapse. You understand? So that's what the opportunity cost is. In entertainment, the opportunity cost simply came about. The opportunity cost simply came about wherein, okay, they realize that this is not benefiting them. Also, they realize that, before I get to that point, they realize that this is not benefiting them. They are not generating as much. Yes, a lot of people make money. A lot of entertainers become millionaires. A lot of promoters make a lot of money. Who else? Who else are involved? Probably corporate Jamaica, they make a lot of money through sponsorship and all these kind of things. And promotions and hotels will probably make money and stuff like that. But at the same time, how much is it that the government is raking in? The government in and of itself, how much are they collecting in tax? So when they do the math and realize that over a time period, over the past 10 years, over the past 15 years, over the past 20 years, they haven't been raking in that much. You understand? Eventually they're going to clamp down, especially, and I realize that a lot of people are saying that many corporate companies are pulling their ad because radio station people hardly listen to radio and stuff like that. In the meeting in and of itself, a lot of these corporate companies pull their ad or pull their subscription for ads because of the music in and of itself. So like I said, a lot of things take place in a meeting. A lot of things are discussed in a meeting before a decision is made. So when we're thinking that, okay, the corporate companies are not going to run any ad because the listenership is dwindling and all of that, maybe the corporate company themselves are pulling out because they don't like the music that is being played on the air. They don't like the music that is being played while their ad is jumping in during that time schedule. So those are things that we have to look into. It's not just about, okay, Cordell Green, I'm sure, did not just make a decision because he thinks something is immoral, he thinks something is illegal that they are promoting. Yes, to an extent, and that's merely like 10%. It's a capitalist country. It's a capitalist country. So we are not saying kids. We are not, that moves by morality and, move by morality and tourism and there's a limit to this, there's a limit to that. No, Jamaica is not like that. You understand me? It moves by capital, it moves by resource, by finance and stuff. So for the government to come down and clamp down on it, clearly, it's more than just the morality. It's more than just what's being played on the air. Because if such is the case, they could have easily banned video games. They could easily ban certain channels that certain cable channels that promote violence or violent music, violent movies in it and all these kind of things. They didn't. We all know that throughout the years, music has always been the one that is taking the responsibility for or is being blamed for all the crime in the country because music promotes it. The psychology behind it is that music, I think, is the only emblem that activates both sides of the brain at the same time. So maybe that's the pivot that they're using to say the music is a problem. The music is a problem. Because as someone said, everything that you do, you can do it while listening to music. But you can't do most things while watching a violent film or while playing a video game. Video game requires high concentration at the particular moment. Outside of that, then you're gone. Movie requires you to watch, pay attention to get to the ending of the movie. You understand me? Or the moral of the story in the movie. With music, you can do anything because your brain is activated. Your brain is, and both sides are activated at the same time. You understand? So that's where, or that's why music is always being blamed for a lot of ills that's in society. So the point I'm trying to make is that when we look into it and we are going to say that, okay, he's clamping down on it because he doesn't like the promotion of chopping or scamming, or he doesn't like the promotion of killing people and stuff like that, they are going to use that. No, it's going to be a weapon because they see that they're not making any money or making the amount of money that they would like to make from the entertainment. So they are going to, now the morality is going to step in. Same way as the pornography, as I said, which is a billion-dollar industry in the US. Should they wake up one morning and only accumulate maybe 100 million in revenue, or 50 million, trust me, that following day, all the morality is going to come in. They're going to clamp down on everything. They're going to go full throttle. It will be the same thing. It will be the same thing. Once they're not generating enough from it, and it's doing, then the moral clauses are going to come in, the moral policing are going to come in, everybody's going to turn moral Hitler. That's an oxymoron. Everybody's going to become a moral Hitler. Everybody's going to come in and just be full throttle and just want this thing to end, want it to stop, putting stipulations on it, and more and more and more and more and more and more. So even though, I understand that Ramesh, I think, had a point when he said that people can listen to Spotify, SoundCloud, people watch YouTube and see the music, so the artists still make money. That's where the problem is. The government is not making the money from what you are making the money from. So that's one of the reasons they're clamping down on it. And as I said, the other part could very well be because corporate Jamaica and a lot of companies probably do not like the music that is being played, or like the fact that if you want to go deeper, probably certain people are making money which should not. They should be out there struggling or coming to work for them on a 9 to 5. You understand me? Because promoting a lot of things in the society that are taking place, it deter people from going to work and collecting a certain amount of salary, which cannot sustain them. It can't sustain them or sustain their family. And so these guys are promoting what is already taking place in the society. And because of that, they realize that they have to put out an ad every month to see mass employment, or when people go there, they have a high turnover rate, because as soon as someone takes a job or someone starts working in a month or two, they decide that this is not the job for them. They can't make any money from it and stuff like that. So the rabbit hole is very deep. It's more than just, okay, I don't like the music and it's this and that and it's illegal and it's immoral, so let's clamp down on it. Yeah, they will say that because they're intelligent people. They know how to. Remember, these people are what? Movers and shakers. So they know exactly what they're doing. It is planned. Like I said, a meeting has always been in place. A meeting always takes place before certain drastic decisions are made. So when we are saying that, running around and saying that, oh, they're not made, the business is not going to make any money because they're going to stop ad because of certain music and stuff like that, artists, this, that, and the third, and they don't generate any money. They don't make money from producers are saying that they don't make any money from radio play. They don't collect check from it. They don't make any money from radio play and all these kind of things. That's irrelevant to them. The government is the one that wants to make the music. Why do you think that Bob Marley image, Bob Marley music, is being pushed so much decades after his passing? Because they realize it's a great marketing tool to generate income. The government realize it's a great marketing tool to generate income. Once you stamp Bob Marley on something, once you stamp his imagery, his music onto something or anything out there, especially from the JTB, the Jamaica Tourist Board, money starts coming in, tourists start coming in, all these kind of things. That's why the tourism is a state in and of itself. But that's another subject for another day. So when you're thinking that it's all about morality, no, it's not. I know that Cardell Green is a very intelligent man and he knows what he's doing. I think that so people are saying that, okay, he's old and he's doing old-fashioned things and he's doing this, he's doing that. They know what they're doing. They're telling themselves that they can survive without a certain demographic. The business community can survive without a certain demographic to a point. So they are not perturbed by your disdain for them clamping down on certain music with certain content. They are not. trust me, they are not moved by it. If it had affected them, they would have made a decision to not do it. Wouldn't have heard about a clamping down on it, but because they're not moved by it, because they tell themselves that certain demographic they can do without in the society. See, the thing is that, remember I tell you, you study the past to know the future. The thing is that you want certain people to always be in a position of inferiority. They must always feel inferior. They must always come to you and look to you for something. And because a lot more aren't doing it in 2022, that's also where a problem comes in. Like I said, a lot of these companies, every month you see them putting out ad, they want a mass amount of employment and stuff like that because they have a high turnover rate. So all of these things are taken into consideration. We can't get staff, we can't keep staff. It's costing me every minute to hire 20 people, 15 people. It costs me every minute to train more and more people and all these kind of things. So I can't have a steady income. I'm going to lose my client overseas. That's referring to like certain places, outsourcing companies. You understand me? They lose a lot of money because they have to train people, have to train this batch over every 2 weeks. They have to do another training and stuff like that, and it cost. It cost. It cost. So food for thought. Food for thought. You know, it's a very tricky situation, and we have to try. Yes, as I was saying, I'm the type of person that read a lot and I try to find source material to back up my argument and stuff like that. So it makes it a little bit more easier for me to give the message or bestow the message onto the mass of the people. Nothing is ever what it seems. Nothing is ever what it seems. It seems like what they're putting out there is that there's the crime and violence, and music is just this big giant that's hovering over people's head. Here we can get into the microcosm of it. We can get into the psychology of it. Yes, of the mind, that is, or the sociology based on how people are structured in the community and in society. But the deeper part which they are hiding is that they're most likely not generating as much as they would want to. Artists are becoming millionaires. A lot of people around them are becoming rich and can maintain themselves. They don't need to go out and get a job and stuff like that. For Mr. Who and who to get rich and richer and richer. And that's kind of where the problem lies. So I hope that people understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to stay very long on it. You know, I hope that people understand and see that the rabbit hole is very deep. It's very deep. It's not just what we see, or they don't like the promotion of clandestine activities, and so let's just, go after people. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. So that's all I have to say about it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you. Remember, I'm just opening people's eyes. I'm not here. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Well, it was bad news already. So I was just showing you a different angle from where they're coming from. But the smoke and mirrors, the magic, the abracadabra, that you're seeing, the media night mentality, it's not really what it is. Okay, enjoy your day and may God bless you.